Welcome to another edition of Politics and Right. My name is Egberto Williams. Today we are with Zack Gingrich Gaylord from TrustWomen. Look, Zack, you know what? Last night we were waiting up until midnight to see if we are going to get an injunction from the Supreme Court because of the law passed in Texas. Why don't you first go ahead and tell us what is the problem with the law here in Texas?
Right from our perspective in Kansas and Oklahoma, we're concerned with the amount of travel people are going to have to do. At the core of this law is really a troubling concept that the best way to deal with abortion care is to attack the networks of mutual support that people have. A lot of our patients really rely on their families, their employers, their churches to help support their choice to seek abortion care and to do just normal family planning. Around 80% of our patients are already parents, so in order to travel 600 miles, 700 miles from Texas to either our Oklahoma City or Wichita clinic, they're going to need to rely on a lot of people to get there. And this legislation directly criminalizes people's networks of supports. And that's just a really pernicious and cruel way to, regulate something that's just a basic healthcare function.
It is interesting because the law that was passed here in Texas that goes into effect today actually penalizes, the way they wrote the law is to make sure that government was not really involved. So it's just the people, as you just mentioned, the support system for these people are now held accountable and civilly liable for allowing or for helping a woman who may want to do her health care, in this case, an abortion. And they're and the interesting thing about the law is if a Uber driver gets sued for taking a woman to an abortion clinic, and the Uber driver said, well, really, all I did was transport this woman. I'm going to ignore that. That's a frivolous lawsuit. By default, the person who claimed he's involved wins the case, and he owes that person $10,000. Is
right.
that?
It's incredible. Yeah. It's, there's not a lot of words to describe just how out of bounds that kind of thing is. And it's not going to do what they ostensibly want to do. It's going to leave people in further dire situations who can't afford to make that travel arrangements. People who are able to access funds or networks of support, it's going to severely disrupt their own lives as they try to travel to Kansas, Oklahoma, Arizona, New Mexico, Louisiana, all these different places, all while there's also, we kind of tend to forget there's still an ongoing pandemic. And so putting people at further risk of either spreading or contracting or bringing back more COVID, it's just a highly irresponsible piece of legislation. Yeah.
It is crazy. Now, here it is now, two men talking about this issue that dramatically affects women. And we are cognizant of that. But
yes, sir.
I want to put a corollary on to all the women that are watching. These two men come to the defense is to say that all these draconian laws are being effectuated by men, mostly men, on a woman's body. And to put it bluntly, I think for all practical purposes, it's up to men to put some sense in men's brains that it's none of our damn business. Your thoughts on that?
Well, look, I think we need everybody to get involved in this and understand the impacts that this is going to have on our communities. And, as far as men speaking out for on behalf of people needing abortion care, we need people of all types to stand up and say this is far too far. This isn't going to do what they want it to do, and this is really just going to create more harm for our communities.
Now, Zack Gingrich Gaylord, thank you so kindly for representing TrustWomen and for giving us your thoughts on the draconian law just passed in Texas.
Yes, sir. You got it.
we spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.